Terroir. I'm Simon Jacob, your host for this episode from Jerusalem. Before we get started, I ask that wherever you are, please take a moment and pray for the safety of our soldiers and the safe return of all of our hostages. The following episode of the Kosher Terroir is a recording of our TuB'Shevat Seder with the Makubal Kabbalist Rabbi Yakov Avraham Shepherd from Har Zion, Mount Zion. He joined my son Ovadiah and myself at our dining room table in our home in Jerusalem. The traditional TuB'Shevat Seder includes 4 cups of wine and blessings on multiple fruits and nuts, along with readings from many biblical and rabbinical sources throughout the experience. Rabbi Yakov Shepherd is an incredibly knowledgeable resource on many Kabbalistic sources and provides details on their actual implementation and practice. The wines were wonderful, and we actually surprised Rabbi Shepherd with some additional inspiration and thoughts on their consumption. If you're commuting in your car, please focus on the road and enjoy. If you're home, please choose a delicious, kosher wine, sit back, and listen in on this little-known but wonderful annual tradition. Okay. First of all, welcome to the Kosher Terroir. What we're going to try to do this evening is the Kabbalistic Seder for TuB'Shevat. So I have here the esteemed Rav Yakov Avraham Shepherd, who taught for many years on Har Zion. He still teaches on Har Zion. And he's a student of my Rav as well, Rav Yisrael Avichai from Yeshivat Beit El in the Old City. And also I have my illustrious son, Ovadiah, with me again in Israel, pleasantly. It's great to have him back here in Israel. And we're going to try to go through this Seder. So please God. So to start, what is TuB'Shevat?
Well, the simple answer is that this is the new year of the trees. So in the Masechet Rosh Hashanah, it says that there's like 4, like Rosh Hashanah, there's 4 New Year events within the year. And the Rosh Hashanah that everybody knows is the Rosh Hashanah of Tishrei. But besides of that, there's also Rosh Hashanah of the trees, Leilanot, which is TuB'Shevat. It's actually machloket between Beit Shammai and Beit Hillel. According to Beit Shammai, it's in Rosh Chodesh of Shvat. And according to Beit Hillel, it's TuB'Shevat. And there is like halachic application of the date for like the count of the Shemitah, that trees that are like starting to the rejuvenation of the trees is in this day of TuB'Shevat. So from that day onwards, it's considered to be a new year. So for example, in Shemitah, so whatever was in the TuB'Shevat of Shnat Shemitah, and later that will consider to be the fruits of Shemitah of the. And then it lasts much after the Shemitah, after Rosh Hashanah of the Shemitah, like the one of Tishrei. So later there's more fruits still in the market for quite a while.
So it actually goes for more than a year. It goes for a year and almost a half.
It is a year, but it's different dates.
Oh, because for different fruits.
According to the, I'm not sure how you say it in English, but there's a concept that is like that in TuB'Shevat there's something that is Chazal is describing as that the saraf is ole bailanot, the sap goes rises like up in the tree,
yes,
like the new sap of the new year,
yeah,
and that end up to result as fruits. So that's like the whatever is future to be fruit is starting now. So it takes a while until we see it, but in the potential is like starting to build up for the fruits to come.
I know with Orla, it starts from, if you can get your vineyard planted before TuB'Shvat, then starting on Rosh Hashanah, it is already counted as 1 year.
Right.
So you don't have to
wait for full 3 years.
Wait for a full 3 years.
Right.
It already takes that period of time off.
Right.
Okay.
So this is the halachic like meaning and application of TuB'Shvat mostly. And
TuB'Shvat is which day of Shvat?
The 15th.
Okay, so that's why it's called TuB'Shvat, because the letters...
Tu is Gematria, the numerical value of 15.
15, so that's why they call it TuB'Shvat.
Right.
Okay.
Right. So the Kabbalistic meaning for TuB'Shvat it's a discussion for itself, but to put it like simple, there is special meaning for TuB'Shvat and Tu B'Av that are two sides, 2 and 2, TuB'Shvat and Tu B'Av, that according to the Arizal they come together, like in their spiritual meaning. So each one of the holidays have special meaning according to the Kabbalah, and it is connected to certain sfirot and so on. And also TuB'Shvat, it has something to do, and specifically it is also connected with the time frame that we are in Shovavim, those parashot Shavua from Shmot until Mishpatim, that according to the Mekubalim it is time of the Tikkun of the Yesod, like so the TuB'Shvat is also connected with that understanding of the Tikkun of the Yesod. Like, you want me to explain what it means?
Of the Yesod? Yeah, if you can. It's simply, I don't know how to. Okay.
Well, the simple way to say it is that anything to do with sexual immorality issues. So this time of the year is the time to fix it and to repent on that and to do whatever. So and the fruits of the trees is also connected with that.
Yeah.
Because like children are the fruits of us, and so. There is a great connection there.
Okay. So why don't more people know about this?
So the book that became to be the most famous about the Kabbalistic meaning of the holidays is the Sha'ar Kavanot of the Arizal. And there, TuB'Shvat is not mentioned. And there is another book that is also quite known, that is Pri Etz Chaim, that was the main book that was known in Europe in the beginning before the writing got all over the world. But and in Pri Etz Chaim it does mention TuB'Shvat and Tu B'Av as the both of them are connected with the Yesod, the Sfira of Yesod, foundation. But also there it doesn't really explain like something that you have to do. Just it gives like the meaning of the day, which is all very valuable, but it doesn't tell us like what to do practically. And the source of what we're doing is that the source of what we're doing is a book that is called Chemdat HaYamim.
Okay.
And Chemdat HaYamim, according to my tradition, was written by one of the students of the Arizal, not Rabbi Chaim Vital.
Okay.
And for different reasons, it didn't come to be so popular. So many people, they don't know about this book, or they know about it, but they don't know what's there. And there, it speaks about the Seder TuB'Shvat very specifically what to do.
It was probably hampered because of Shabtai Tzvi created such a bad pale over Mukabalim, or people studying the Kabbalah, that there was a whole generation basically that just basically shut out any Kabbalistic practices.
Right.
So,
right.
And
specifically in Europe, and that affected like also the Sephardi world.
Right.
In a way.
Okay.
But I call it a trauma, the trauma of the Jewish world from Kabbalah, because there was a Vad Arba Aratzot. I don't know how they say it in English, like a big committee of big rabbis of Europe,
right,
that they gathered after like the whole thing of Shatot Tzvi finished. And one of the decisions that they made is like that generally people shouldn't deal with Kabbalah unless they are like very, 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 very qualified so that was definitely a reason for people not to deal with anything to do with it.
Okay. So one of the things that you do on Leil TuB'Shvat is you have a Seder.
Right.
Okay? And the Seder is based around a few things. It's based around Arba Kosot of wine, a little different than the Passover Seder. We actually have, on the TuB'Shvat Seder, a white wine to start, then a rosé, a light rosé, then a lighter red, like a Grenache, and then after that, a deep red. So that's one of the reasons we're discussing it this evening on the Kosher Terroir, because it is very wine and Israel focused. We also have different fruits and vegetables, different fruits basically, and nuts that we eat. And there's there's 3 different levels of those fruits, and we're going to get into that as to what they are and what have you. So what's the first thing we're going to do?
The first thing is that we're going to pour the first cup of the white wine.
Yes.
And while you're pouring the wine, I will explain that that first cup of white wine is connected with the world of Atzilut.
Atzilut is what?
Is the first. Maybe I'll start like this. There's 4 worlds.
Yes.
According to the Kabbalah.
Yes.
That maybe it will be easier for people to relate to them as 4 dimensions.
Okay.
That the Atzilut is the highest one, which is the most abstract.
Closest to the Kadosh Baruch Hu.
Everything is close to the Kadosh Baruch Hu,
right.
but the light of Hashem is mostly revealed there.
Yeah, it's the strongest.
So the highest level of revelation, and so we're drinking the first cup as we are symbolizing the light that comes from the highest dimension, and it comes down closer to us, and that will be like basically the structure of those 4 cups, that every time we are coming down from one dimension to another, so we are drinking another cup as the light goes down.
Very cool.
And the connection to the fruits is that, like, finally, when all this light, all this abundance is manifested in the physical world, so one of the ways is the fruits of the trees, and with that we can also have in mind like all of the fruits of whatever it is that we want to bring blessings for in our life. That's what Hashem.
Okay, so we make a bracha. This does not involve a kiddush.
Right.
It just has a bracha.
Right.
That we make on yayin.
Right. It's not so. Yeah. We have like the chagim that we have kiddush is the chagim deoraita.
Right.
Right. And we have like also Hanukkah and Purim, which is the Rabbanan.
Yes.
And the Seder TuB'Shvat is not even the Rabbanan. It's a minhag of Mekubalim, some Mekubalim. So it's not obligatory. And because it is in that position, so it's nice in a way that it's very flexible. Like there is like an open area for people that they don't know exactly what to do. So they don't have so much of an issue. And for me, I say that also non-Jews can celebrate it. There's no like problem for a regular Chag,
yes.
Like a real Chag. So like it's an issue. But with TuB'Shvat, something that everybody can enjoy.
Very cool. So we're gonna drink our first our white wine. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam borei pri hagefet.
Amen. Oh. Adonai. Melech haolam. Borei pri hagefet. Amen.
So this is a delicious Gush Etzion Sauvignon Blanc that we're drinking. It's crisp and it's very fresh. It's just really a lot of citrus. Wonderful. Okay. It's a great start.
I will also say that there is an order of brachot that, like, if you want to do a motzi,
Yes.
so you do it before the borei pri gefen, not like Shabbat,
Yeah.
because there's no kiddush, and kiddush isn't like a special law. But in a case like that, if somebody wants to do like a meal with bread, so you should do it before. And also, I wrote in the Seder TuB'Shvat that even though the main thing is the fruits of the trees, but it's also to have like the order of the brachot. So there's a reason to do mezonot, which we didn't do, and it's fine. It's fine not to do it.
To do it before a geffen?
So in the order of the brachot, it's maga esh, right? So mezonot mem, right, comes before the gimel of the maga.
Okay.
So you have like mezonot and then geffen and then etz. So if somebody wants to do the like with mezonot, so to do it before the wine, preferably. But b'diavad, if somebody wants to do it afterwards, it's also fine. Okay. No problem.
Okay. Very cool. Very cool. It's actually, I'm going to put a link from the podcast to the electronic version of this TuB'Shvat Seder for people who want to get it. Right. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
Great.
So let's open the book in the first cup. Kind of starts in 36, 37 with the mezonot, and then the bracha that we just did of borei pri gefen is in 39.
Okay.
And yeah, so the main thing that we have to have in mind with the Seder TuB'Shvat is that the idea is to bring the blessings of Hashem to the fruits of the trees. So we know that like the whole creation is connected with the spiritual work that Am Yisrael do, and we have that privilege, we have that possibility to bring more blessings, and specifically with this Seder TuB'Shvat. So the way I did it is to connect like a piece of Torah, little pieces of Torah to the different fruits. So whenever we're gonna meet like one of the fruits, so we have like a pasuk or a mishnah or a little like line of Zohar or something like that will go with it, and the zchut of the learning of the Torah extends and multiply the blessings and the abundance that comes down. Bezrat Hashem, that all of the fruits of the whole world will be blessed.
So what's next?
So we did the borei pri gefen with the first cup.
Yes.
And now we need to say the borei pri etz. I'm in page 40.
So what are we going to say borei pri etz on?
So the pasuk goes on the fig. So let's take the fig, which is one of the...
Actually, I think, yes, we do. We have some dry figs. We don't have...
So
right here.
I would just say that like in many places, the figs, the dry figs specifically, have a problem of worms. So
Yes,
so people really have to like learn how to check them and really look inside very, very carefully. So we're gonna first say the bracha of Bor Peretz, and then we'll say the pasuk that is connected with the fig.
Okay. Right. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam borei pri ha'etz.
Amen. One more thing I didn't explain is that the structure that we have here is like 3 groups of fruits.
Yes.
That now we are in the first group of the fruits, which is the fruits that are eaten with the peel and with the seeds. So that's like the highest level that corresponds to the world of Bria. So we had like the world of Atzilut coming down. So the next world down is the world of Bria. I think they translate as a creation, I believe.
Okay.
So as like all those fruits, all those fruits that are eaten with the shell and with the seeds, the whole fruit is eaten, is in that level of the world of Bria. And as much as fruits, according to the original Seder, it should be like 30 fruits. So 10 fruits for each one of the 3 worlds, Bria, Yetzirah, and Asiyah.
Okay.
That's the original. So you have like 10 sfirot in each one of the worlds. So 10 fruits are corresponding to the 10 sfirot. But it's very hard to get like all of those fruits sometimes. I would just say that in the original like text of this book Chemdat Hayamim is giving like a lot to read on each one of the fruits. I did like a very, very like minimalistic like version that it will be like easier for people, because if somebody wants to do like the full Seder TuB'Shvat according to original text of the Chemdat Hayamim, it would take the whole night easily.
Okay.
Easily, when someone is fluent in his reading.
Right.
It's so much like articles of Zohar and Mishnayot and a lot of reading.
Wow.
But like so I wanted to make it that it will be something that people can actually do. So we'll just say the pasuk Notzer Te'ena Yohal Pirya. Okay. This is the pasuk that the fig is mentioned, Te'ena, and then there is like a little bit of Zohar that you want to read it?
Yeah. Then says Rabbi Yakov Abba says in the name of Rabbi Yochanan, what is the deeper meaning of this pasuk? Apparently, the Torah is compared here to figs. Why? Just like a fig tree, the more you search, the more figs you will find. So too is the Torah. The more you delve into it, the more enjoyment you will feel.
Right. So there's a special quality of the fig tree that it's not like not all the fruits are getting ripe in the same time. So if somebody have like a fig tree in his yard, so he can go out like every morning and search for like a ripe fig to eat, and like when it's a big fig tree, so as much as you look, you can find more and more. So in the same way, we should like come to the Torah every morning, every day, and look for like new things that will inspire us and help us to connect to Hashem. So we're moving on?
Yes, what's next?
So we have grapes. Do we have grapes here?
Yes.
I would just like say in short that the Zohar that I put in connection to the grapes is that the grapes are all connected, right, in a bundle, right? In the same way, also the Shekhinah, which is the all of the souls of Am Yisrael, are all connected. And when we are ascending, when we are elevating, like for example in TuB'Shvat and the other Chagim and so on, when we pray, so one is affecting the other. So as much as there's more elevation, so everything elevates together, like the grapes that like everything they are all connected in the how do you call the shkol of the grapes?
Cluster.
Yeah. So the next one, so let's go for the olive, in page 45.
Okay.
Right? Yeah, but before that we have the next cup of the wine.
Okay.
We have the next cup of the wine, which is the light rosé, right?
Yes.
So whoever doesn't have the light rosé, can take the white wine and pour a little bit of red wine inside.
God forbid.
God forbid.
You need to have a rosé on hand.
But the idea is that as we're coming down, like from the world of Bria now to the world of Yetzirah, so we are the light is coming down.
Yes.
And
It's
as the
getting
light is
darker.
coming down, lower dimensions have more judgments that are holding back the expansion of the light. So the redness is symbolizing the judgment. So as long as we're going down, so the wine becomes to be more red, like the judgments are getting stronger.
Okay.
So we have the second cup. Chaim lechaim.
L'chaim tovim v'shalom.
tovim v'shalom.
Baruch atah Adonai. No,
you
Tov
don't
Nativ.
Amen. You're right. No, but if you didn't have that on the table, when you said the Borei Per Geffen,
Yes.
so then you say Tov Ametiv.
Okay.
When you have it in front of you, when you say Borei Per Geffen, so the Borei Per Geffen covers that.
I always say at Tov Nativ.
I also try to say it, but for
I
this
know,
reason,
I get it.
I don't bring
You don't.
the second wine
No.
to the table. I wait for like after
Yes.
Borei Per Geffen, and then I bring the second wine.
Okay, so what we're drinking here is a rosé, a lovely rosé from a small little winery down near Tekoa called Hasela. And it's near,
Ghana,
yeah, Arugot Park. And it's a beautiful little winery there are two men who decided to found the winery, and it's their wives who are making the wine because they're both, unfortunately, in the war. So they're both working very hard to make the wine.
Hashem will bring them back to their house
Yes,
safely.
safely. So now we're going to eat the olive.
Right. So the pasuk of the olive, page 45. The pasuk is Zait Ra'anan Yafe Pri Toar Kara Adonai. Shmecha lekol המולה גדולה הצית אש עליה וראו דליותיו.
Okay, that means
One of the parables for Am Yisrael is olive,
yep.
for different reasons. But so here the pasuk is telling us that the beautiful fresh olive Hashem is calling, meaning to Am Yisrael, like I said before.
Yep.
The judgment of the destruction of Beit HaMikdash, right? Etzit Esh Alea. So there's like the fire that went into the Beit HaMikdash. So we have here, like in this pasuk, that like in one hand, like the love of Am Yisrael the love of Hashem to Am Yisrael in one hand, and the judgment that Hashem have judged us in this way.
So you want to read in English? Yeah.
The Midrash says that the Beit HaMikdash is compared to oil. Just as oil illuminates, so the Beit HaMikdash illuminates the whole world. Similarly, our forefathers were called fresh olives because they lit up the world with their faith in Hashem.
The olives are like a fruit that we don't eat the seed. But
So we eat the outside.
We eat the peel, but we don't eat the seed. Right? So that is related to the world of Yetzirah now.
We've come down a level more.
Right. We came down to the level of Yetzirah.
Yep.
And same level is also the date. Right?
Okay.
Which are here.
So we'll have the dates. Yeah.
By the way, I will say that by many people, what they do in TuB'Shvat is that they just like eat like fruits of Eretz Yisrael, the 7 species
Yep.
of Eretz Yisrael. So like the what we have now, right? The date and the fig and the olive, and now the date is all part of those seven species. Right.
This is lovely.
Very good dates. Baruch Hashem.
Wow. Truly perishing is
When I have Bachurim that are not married in my table for Rosh Hashanah or for TuB'Shvat, I told them that like to have in mind to have a good date.
A good school.
Okay.
So we have the pasuk. Let's say the pasuk. Tzadik katamar yifrach, ke'erez balevanon nisge. So that the righteous person is elevated upwards, like the date tree that is very high, and it is giving like blossoming, and ke'erez is, how do you say erez?
Cedar.
Cedar that is like the known trees that was in Beit HaMikdash, right? Shlomo Melech was like building Beit HaMikdash with the razim of the Lebanon. So that's like the basically gives us the quality of the righteous people, that they are very ascended and they see very far because they are so high. So they have like a very like unique way of seeing things.
Also, it's beautiful. The Talmud asks, why in Tehillim is a righteous man compared to a cedar tree and also a date tree? The answer is he's compared to a cedar tree in that he renews himself when cut down. Shavi Yipol Tzadik V'Kam. And to a date tree in that it grows fruit. Beautiful.
Right. We came to the apple. So the pasuk of the apple, כתפוח בעצי היער, כן דודי בין הבנים, בצילו חימנתי וישבתי ופריו מתוק לחיכי. So it's from Shir HaShirim, and it means that like the apple tree between the different trees of the forest sticks out because it have good fruits to eat.
Yeah.
So when someone goes through the forest and you see like an apple tree, so it makes a big difference for him. So in a way, we are relating to Hashem that for people that don't know and they compare Hashem to all kinds of other religions, other spiritual ways, so it's like that it actually gives fruits. There's meaning for what we are doing, and so that's Ken Dodi Ben Abanim, my beloved one, meaning Hashem, between the others that you can compare them, right? So so that's the reason I sit under his shade, and I get the benefit of that.
You want to say this one?
Yep.
Yeah, go ahead.
It also says that the apples have a segula for parnasa, because it says tapuach is the same gematria as patuach, open, from the pasuk of potech et yadecha u'maspia lechu chai ratzon.
Tapuach, which is an apple in Hebrew, is the same gematria as patuach, which is to open. So that's why there is a pasuk that people often say, potech et yadecha u'maspia lechu ratzon, that Hashem opens his hands and satisfies every living thing.
It's from the Mishnah of Brachot.
Yeah, if they sat down to eat, each one blesses for himself. If they reclined, one blesses for all. And that's a Birkat Hamazon, no? Mm-hmm. If wine was brought before them during the meal, then each one blesses over the wine for himself. That's a bracha achrona for the wine. The same person makes the blessing over the mugmar, incense, even though the mugmar is not brought until after the meal. You say this while having in mind the gematria of the last letters of the Mishnaic words, wine came to them. Balahem yayin, which is 91.
Mm-hmm. And this, by the way, like the style of the original text of the Sefer Chemdat Hayamim.
Yep.
Is all like that, like different Mishnayot and Zohar, and then he comes up with the gematria of the first letters, end letters, for the meditation of that. So we have the pairs.
Yes.
And also here we don't have like a pasuk for that. We have like a Mishnah. So Mishnah in Masechet Kla'im, U'ba'ila na'agasim va'kustumalim. I don't know which kind of fruit is that.
Christabel, yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah, it's kind of like a pear-like fruit, yeah.
והפרישים והעוזרדין אינם כלאיים זה בזה. So because they are very close one to another, they are not considered to be a mixture when you grow them together. התפוח והחזרד והפריסיקין והשקדין והשזיפין והרימנין, אף על פי שדומים זה לזה כלאיים זה בזה. But those other fruits, that even though they are similar one to another, but they are not coming from the same family of fruits, and therefore there's a prohibition.
There's a prohibition to grow them close to each other,
right.
so that they don't become
Crossbreed.
They don't crossbreed.
Kilaim. One who causes his vine to overhang his fellow's grain, behold, he has caused the grain to be prohibited, and he's responsible for it. Rabbi Yossi and Rabbi Shimon say, a person does not prohibit his kilaim, that which is not his own.
Okay, so in that point we came to the next cup of wine, third cup of wine. That will be, how do you call it? Soft red?
A lighter red, not a rosé, but a lighter red. And in this instance, we're using a Grenache, which is a nice light red color, Gilil Mountains, and it's Grenache called Or.
Bezrat Hashem, with this hood, Hashem will protect all of the Galil and all of the north.
Yes.
Bezrat Hashem.
Yeah, especially now.
Right. So that is symbolizing coming down, right, from the world of the Bria to the world of Yetzirah, right, and as we're coming down, as we said before, so the redness is symbolizing the judgments. So we can also meditate on sweetening those judgments. In that point, we got to the last group of fruits that are connected with the world of Asiyah, which are the nuts.
Now, the thing that's interesting about this, tell us again, what's different now? What are we doing now that's different?
So as we're going down, as we said, there's more judgments, and the shells are not eatable.
Edible, yeah.
Right? You cannot eat those shells of the walnuts, for example. And that is symbolizing the lower world of Asiyah, which is the closest world to our physical dimension. Right? Our physical dimension is just under the world of Asiyah. By the way, some people, they mistakenly think that the physical dimension is the world of Asiyah.
Okay.
The world of Asiyah is really spiritual, but it is very close to the physical. So like basically all of the spirituality that the world know of is usually the spirituality that there is in the world of Asiyah. All of those like like demons and like lower angels, that spirits and so on, that there's so many people in the world that they are getting so excited over them. They are like in this lower dimension.
Okay.
Anyhow, we have here.
You have Rimon as well.
That's coming up.
Right. So you want to read some of the English here of the nuts, page 54.
Say the pasuk in the Zohar above. The following is translation of both. I went down to the nut garden to see the blossoms of the stream, to see if the vine had sprouted, if the pomegranates blossomed. Rabbi Yochanan said, indeed it is called nut garden, meaning the garden of Eden. Just like a nut is closed from all sides, covered by many husks, so is Eden above. It is covered from all angles, with many protections. It cannot be seen by any angel, not by a fiery angel, chashmal angel, nor by the eye of a prophet or navi. As it is written, no eye has seen it, God beside you. This means that the upper Eden is kept for the righteous, and no one is able to see it. Even great angels, even the righteous themselves, do not know much about it until they get there.
The presence of Hashem comes down to all of those worlds, even to this world, right? Even to Mitzrayim, as we say in the Agadah, right? You wanted to see the connection between the Seder TuB'Shevat and Seder of Pesach.
Wow.
So also there we have this concept of that Hashem himself wanted to be the one that goes and do the Makat Bechorot. How you say that? Like Makat Bechorot?
The killing the firstborns,
right,
in Egypt.
Right. So it says like a keti, like me, myself. Like, and we say in the Haggadah, not with an angel, Hashem himself. So in the same way, we have to know that there is some things that Hashem put like angels in charge of, but some things he chooses to do himself. The revelation of his presence. Okay, so we have here also almonds.
Do you want to do money? We went jump past it.
We passed it.
No, let's do the nuts. Let's almonds first. Do we have almonds? Yes.
We do.
We have almonds, yeah.
Here, which would you like? Whatever you like.
Almonds are...
No, but it says correctly that we passed on the rimonim.
Okay, so
Let's
you want to do
the
rimonim
rimonim first, and then
Okay.
we'll do the nuts. It says in the pasuk, "Kepelach harimon rakatech mibad letzamatech." So it's also from Shir Hashirim, and that's a praise that Hashem is praising Am Yisrael. That the beauty of Am Yisrael is like how you say pelach, like a piece of the pomegranate.
Yeah.
That is like if you take it like separately, and you're reeling the seeds that we eat there. There's like a special beauty for that. And you want to read the English?
Sure. Reish Lakish says that the fire of Gehinnom has no power over Jewish sinners, as we see from the Mizbach HaZahav, the golden altar. If the golden altar, which was only plated by a thin layer of only a coin's worth of gold, lasted many years, even though fire was lit upon it, Jewish sinners how much more so, since they are filled with mitzvot like a pomegranate.
Right. So basically, every piece of the pomegranate is symbolizing like a mitzvah. And the beauty of Am Yisrael is that there's so much mitzvot, even for people that they are not like fully observant, but just by like living their simple life, they are performing the like many mitzvot.
So many mitzvot.
Baruch Hashem. For example, what we were discussing about like avoiding eating like worms and bugs. Right. So like many people do that, but if you do it and you have in mind that you're doing it for mitzvah, for Hashem's sake, you're gaining like extra merit by that.
Now almonds.
So let's go for the almonds. So the pasuk says, "Vayim mecharat ויבוא משה אל אוהל מועדות, והנה פרח מטה אהרון לבן לוי, ויוצא פרח, ויוצא ציץ, ויגמול שקדים." So the almonds are known to be like the quickest to bring the fruits from all the trees. So Hashem chose the almonds to show that he's choosing Moshe and Aaron, and instead of like all of the other like presidents that were trying to compete with them. And that is also like for us it's a message that we want the redemption to come quick, right? Like the shaked, instead of like something negative that might chas v'shalom come quick. We want the positive things to come quick.
It's also it's the earliest flowering fruit in Israel. It's already started to flower here, and we're still in January. We're not even into February yet.
Right.
And as you travel along the highway, there are places you can see almond trees blooming.
Right. There's a song of TuB'Shevat.
Yeah.
That they sing like a shkedia porachat. That's like one of the signs of TuB'Shevat is that you see the blooming like a tree of the almond tree.
Of the almonds.
Right, and we have like a nice picture here of the almond tree.
Beautiful.
Want to read the Zohar?
Sure. The Zohar on Shemot 15 says, "Come and see. Some almonds are bitter and some are sweet. They hint at spiritual matters. There are angels that are masters of harsh judgments. There are angels that are masters of song. Many hints in the Torah are expressed regarding judgments, as by Yirmiyah, as it says, 'I see an almond staff.' So, too, regarding the staff of Aaron, it is written, 'It yielded almonds.' The word shaked implies judgment, as written, Hashem Yishkod looked out over the evil. and Daniel. And so I am shoked, looking out to fulfill my word to execute judgment. But as Rabbi Shepherd said, it could be also looking out for the good, not just for destruction.
Bezrat Hashem. Yeah.
Bezrat Hashem.
Only good. Bezrat Hashem. Okay. So we have here like chestnuts and Brazil nuts. We have something like that?
No,
Not
we
this.
don't.
Pine
We
nuts.
don't have persimmons either.
Okay. So let's drink the last cup of wine
Okay.
of the.
Now this is the reddest. This is the red wine.
Tell us about this wine. What is special about this?
What wine is this?
Rabbeinu
Yeah.
Tom.
This is a special wine. It's called Rabbeinu Tom. It's from the Tom Winery, up outside of Itamar, and actually it's a wine that I helped manufacture and blend. It's made by Tomer Panini with the help of R.A. Pollock.
Tomer is also.
What?
Is Tomer back, or he's still fighting?
He's also in Gaza. But the other person who helped us blend this to pick out what should be blended, who helped us with it, was Yakov Avraham. So this is a very special wine, and
Special people.
yeah, and they're all special people, and if this is something you're looking for, you can call me because there's no place else you can get it. L'chaim tovim v'shalom.
Amen.
Oh, this nice wine. I like it.
Isn't it delicious?
From all of the four, this is the
your
one
favorite.
Yeah, definitely.
Good.
Like
I'm
very
glad you
deep.
like it. It is. It's really good.
Rabbeinu Tom.
Rabbeinu Tom. That was after me. I named it. Chutzpah.
Oh, Hashem. Good.
I wasn't trying to insult Rashi.
I'm sure it is not taking that as an insult.
Good.
I heard, by the way, that Rashi chose to be a winemaker because, like, there's like in all of the Talmud, there's so much about like wine and grapes and like there's so much about it. So like he needed to choose something that like to do for his living. So he decided to do that. That is like it involves so much like Torah around it. So there's a nice point of inspiration that when someone needs to like choose like what he's going to do for his living, like it's better to choose something that is somehow connected to Torah, and then it keeps the person like connected to Torah like while he's doing his living.
So is there fruit left to do?
So
we did them all.
We basically like got to the end of the Seder. We skipped a lot of fruits, but we did like a chosen fruits from each one of the groups. And now I want to connect that to what you were asking before about the sin of Adam Arishon, and while we enjoy the leftovers of the fruits. Yeah. So we
These are
know.
pine nuts. So they're okay. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
We know that the sin of Adam Arishon, that he chose to eat from the Etz Hadat. And that forbidden fruit that he ate is basically the reason that we have to go through this existence with the physical body. But otherwise, Adam was just a spiritual being, and just after the sin, he got the kutnot or, he manifested as a physical being, and with us all of the rest of the creation, right, including the fruits that we're eating, and in a way, each one of the fruits.
Nope. Sorry.
No problem. Each one of the fruits is a certain angle, a certain manifestation of that fruit of Etz Hadat in a way, because everything is
The tree of knowledge. The
manifested
fruit of
by
the tree of knowledge.
right, the tree of knowledge. And what we really want is to connect to the Etz HaChaim, the tree of life, right?
Yeah.
So
That's the one we need to connect to. Yeah.
right. And that is the meditation that I put in the end of the Seder TuB'Shvat. Maybe you want to read it. That like after we finish everything, we want to connect all what we did to the Etz HaChaim. It's in page. It's actually starting in page 63. It's and finishing.
Mishnah 8. Yeah. No.
Yeah, but maybe skip that and go to the bottom of it. Yeah.
From the Arizal says to read the last 4 chapters of Mishnah from Masechet Shabbat and Eruvin by each Shabbat meal. Have in mind that each chapter activates one of the 4 letters of the Yud K and Vav K, which subsequently gives to the corresponding letters the name Aleph, Daled, Nun, and Yud. Of course, if you want to continue with other kinds of fruit and vegetables, saying words of Torah around them, you will merit to continue the abundance of the upper worlds. So far, we celebrated the Rosh Hashanah for the trees. All of the trees that give fruit together symbolize the worlds of holiness. Corresponding to that, there is the Ilan Srak, a tree that does not give fruit, which symbolizes the negative side of the Klippa. Now we meditate on the negative side that we do not eat and do not want to have a portion of. Separate the Klippa from our hearts, as it says, circumcise the Orla of the heart. Then we move on to meditate on the meditation of elevating through the 4 worlds from Asiyah, Yetzirah, to Bria, and finally to Atzilut.
So we go like in the opposite direction. Like from the beginning of the Seder until now, we came down, bringing the light to manifest in the physical world. And now we're expressing our desire to reconnect to our root in the highest world, the world of Atzilut, and to choose the Etz HaChaim, the tree of life, instead of the Etz HaDat, instead of the tree of knowledge.
So we take the same fruit that we've been eating, and we go back up.
Well, that's what we are doing now.
Yes.
But but in the like in the original Seder, like we finished like the eating of the fruits.
Yeah.
And we just meditating on this concept of elevation and reconnecting ourselves to the right place where we want to be connected to, and that's something that we should always have in mind. That
Bismaneno, can Jews really connect to the world of Atzilut in this world, in this reality that we're living in right now?
First of all, I will say I appreciate the question. For like, it's not obvious. One of the rabbis that I was learning by is Rav Adler, and he's involved with the Kabbalah of the Ramchal, not on the Kabbalah of the Rashash. So I told him once that according to the Rashash, whenever we do anything like bracha or kriyat shema, we want to elevate to the world above Atzilut, the world of Adam Kadmon, which is the highest of the highest. And his response very surprised me. He said, like, what do you mean? Like, even to get to the world of Atzilut is so difficult. So you're talking with me about like getting to the world above Atzilut, the world of Adam Kadmon? Like how can you say that? It's like it's like, who can reach there? And when he said that, I understood that like for him, like the whole concept of elevation is different.
It wasn't like, theoretical, it was practical.
Right. It's like he feels the difficulty of the elevation. It's like he's really doing the work. Baruch Hashem. Good for you.
Yeah, but also your mind limits where you can go.
Right.
So if you believe you can get there, you can get there.
Very good.
And you can't get there if your mind is saying, no, I can't get there. So we're human beings, but we have an ability to do things that are very holy.
Right. That is connected to the concept that is said in the name of the Baal Shem Tov, that I brought it in the introduction of the Siddur Zichron David.
Yep.
That he says like, wherever your thoughts are, that's where you are.
Yeah.
So if you put your thoughts in those like dimensions, the highest dimensions of the creation that are like up and above, so that's where you are. And even though you have like a physical body, but your being is connected to like where you connected your thoughts to. So in a way, one of the purposes of Am Yisrael is to be able to function in the physical world, performing mitzvot like eating the fruits, for example, like we're doing now, and in the same time to connect that to the highest realms with our thoughts, with our meditation.
This is really so special, especially dealing with all the different fruits and the produce and the wines from Israel. It's just amazing to be able to sit in Yerushalayim and go through and do this.
It's easier for you to say. You live in Yerushalayim.
Yeah.
For me, who lives in New Jersey most of my time, it's that much more incredible.
It is. It's a crazy thing. Well, for me, who spent most of my life in New Jersey,
Seder.
who even though I've been here for a long time, a few years, almost 8 years, I have to pinch myself sometimes when I look out the window and I see the chomot, and I'm sitting here enjoying the wines of Israel, and it's really, really special, really special. Each of these wineries is so different. One is from the what you call it, the Gush Etzion is from the middle of the Gush, which is a very different terroir, very different area than even Hasela, which is probably the closest thing to it, but it's further east in the Gush, and it's really bordering on the desert. And then going up to Hare Galil, which is all the way up north. And actually, those wineries are very difficult to get to these days because of the war that isn't happening up north, but it is happening up north.
It's not officially.
There's so many people who have been relocated because of the fears of the wars up north and because of the bombings and everything that are going on up north, the missiles. So that's a northern wine, and this is in the Tom is in Itamar, around Itamar, which is it's also north, but it's not. It's further. It's closer to the Jordan River Valley, and
overlooking Har Gerizim and Har Eval.
Yeah, it's really kind of crazy.
I have this ongoing debate with people. Because we talk about Jews, but we are Am Yisrael.
Yeah.
And these wines are produced within Eretz Yisrael.
Every one of these wines comes out of Eretz Yisrael.
And they're one. The other part of that connection is HaKadosh Baruch Hu, is, right? It's the Torah, Am Yisrael, Eretz Yisrael. It's all one. It's all one connected idea, entity. And I don't think the world appreciates quite the extent to which Am Yisrael and Eretz Yisrael are connected. I think people identified Israel as Israel. And they identify the Jewish people as the Jewish people. And they're, some are living in Israel and some are living outside of Israel. But right now, I think the Jewish people identify with Eretz Yisrael. I think in our hearts, in our souls, there's this incredible connection between the people and the land. That is how Hashem looks at us, the gift that He's given us in our connection with this land, and somehow, at some level, and I don't know what level that is, but our people, anywhere in the world, our people feel at their base, at their core, that kesher.
That connection.
That connection. And it is
It is.
It's not theoretical. It's not political. It's not, politics driven. It is our essence of who we are.
It's spiritual, really spiritual.
Right.
Not just kind of the fake spirituality, it's the real spirituality of it.
But this land, in response to that kesher that we feel as people, responded to all of these winemakers to open up the desert, to give fruit, to give not okay wine, not mediocre wine, incredible, it's wines.
They also have to have the chachma. They have to have the knowledge, the thought to be able to produce wines in those environments. But I know up north, they were planting peonies outside of Itamar next to Tom. So what they were doing was they were watering the ground.
Right.
And out of the ground, this is absolutely barren. There isn't anything but thistles, thorns and thistles. When you have to dig to plant grapes, my hands, after I do that, whenever I spend a day doing that, my hands are just cut to pieces because of the thorns. I should wear gloves, but I like to hold the earth in my hands. I like to hold it in my hands.
You're right.
So, but they found that when they watered it, because the first thing you do with before you plant a vineyard is you start to water in order to soften the earth and what have you. And it's not the first thing you do. The first thing you do is pull away all the stones and clear away all of the other things that are there. But there's always thorns and thistles that you dig into the ground in order to plant the grapevines when you're planting, or when you're planting orchards or something. And when they watered the ground, again, this was ground with nothing, absolutely barren. As soon as they watered it, and as soon as it was purposefully being watered to grow something, out of the ground came all of these different things. Like grapes, there was grapes that were growing. There was hita, which is wheat, and barley, and all sorts of stuff that was just coming out of the ground. Wow. They didn't have to plant it. Wow. It just came out of the ground. It was like
it says that, I don't remember if it's in the prophets or it's like in the Gemara, in the Chazal, but it's definitely said that when Am Yisrael is living in Eretz Yisrael, then Eretz Yisrael gives its fruits.
100%.
And when Am Yisrael is in exile, Eretz Yisrael doesn't give its fruits. So like when the Romans and the Arabs and who knows like what Persians were here, Turks. So it was not like giving so much fruits. It was like for them it was useless.
It was totally barren.
Like and as much as we have like more Jews coming to Eretz Israel, so we see more and more the blessing of Eretz Israel manifesting. It's not just simply. There's much more there than you can ever imagine. I'm telling you, this is barren earth that was producing nothing, and all we did was water it. And because we were there, right,
all of a sudden it was like, welcome home. I've been waiting for you to get back here.
Wow.
And it produces so much. It's just incredible.
And like with what we said about the four worlds, so there's also a concept that the whole world is the world of Asiyah.
Yep.
And Eretz Israel is elevated, is the world of Yetzirah. And Yerushalayim is elevated even more, and it's connected to the world of Bria. And the holiest, the Beit HaMikdash, they call the Temple Mount, is in a way connected to the world of Atzilut. So in this world we have some kind of representative of each one of those like 4 dimensions.
So that's 4 dimensions. But I told you, I'm strongly believing in 5 dimensions. The 5th.
Yeah.
In Pesach, we have the kos, the hotzeti,
V'yitzalti.
the
V'hotzeti, and I took you out. V'yitzalti, and I rescued you.
yeah,
V'ga'alti, and I redeemed you.
Yeah.
V'lakachti, and I taken you li la'am, to be my nation. V'heveti, and I brought you to this land.
Right.
That's the 5th.
Well, Bezrat Hashem, when we'll have soon the Beit HaMikdash built. So inside of the Beit HaMikdash, we have also the Holy of Holies of the inside of the Beit HaMikdash.
So
that can be like what you're saying.
So I feel that we should at least drink to that.
In our parshiot, they gave us right in Parshat Bo. They had already the Lashon Chamishi is already there. Right. It's not hinted at. It's explicit. We just have to experience it. We haven't experienced it, but we have to experience it.
So wait. So I have a special wine that I have that's specially for that. So it is a white, so that it leads back.
That will be like the wine of Etz Chaim.
Yeah, I believe it is. I believe
so tell us about this one. What is special about this bottle?
First, I want you to taste it.
Okay.
And I want to get an honest to goodness reaction from you. And then you can tell me whether you think you're actually tasting Olam Haba. Okay?
Very nice.
It's a beautiful golden color.
Wow. It is special.
I'm telling you.
You didn't use that one yet if you want to try one.
This one, yeah.
Wow.
So I think as much as...
Hold on. This gets you a Hatov Metiv because it was not on the table for
I
you.
understand.
You're right.
You get it.
Let's go for the Hatov Metiv.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam hatov v'hametiv.
Amen. Oh, Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam hatov v'hametiv.
Amen.
Okay? So...
I think we should do Seder TuB'Shvat more often.
Okay, so just so that you know how special this wine is, this is a late harvest Viognier that's also skid macerated, which means it's a blend of red and white. It's the ultimate blend of red and white. It's a white that's made like a red, where the grapes, the skins of the grapes are kept together with the juice in order to keep the tannins and what have you in the grapes, in the wine. And it's a skid macerated late harvest wine made by Yakov Avraham called V. It's a Viognier. And it's like, honestly, like being in heaven. It's an incredibly delicious. It's sweet, but it's just perfect. It's a great, delicious wine.
Wow.
So that's the ultimate.
How they make it so sweet?
That's the way it is.
Late harvest, high sugar.
It's late harvest, and so what happens is they let
it's like tzimukim, like
raisins. It's not quite raisins. No. It's just late, so that there's a lot of sugar that's built up into it, and they don't let it turn to alcohol fully, so that it keeps a lot of sweetness as well as the alcohol, and it's really, really special.
Wow, it is special.
Okay.
Wow.
Is that
nice? Very nice.
Isn't that nice? Now I'm going to blow your mind. Okay. So once we get up to Olam Haba, isn't there another dimension? Isn't there another dimension?
What's above Olam Haba? That's a good question.
This is in the range. This is in the area of Kodesh Baruch Hu directly.
Okay. Wow. What is that?
It's so nice surprising somebody who is always surprising me. This is also by Yakov Avraham.
Okay.
It's a wine that's a Chardonnay that has been in barrel. This was when it was bottled after 8 years.
Wow.
No, this was bottled, I don't know how many years after. It was 8 years, right? From 2008. And it's also Shemitah wine. But
So
it's,
I will call it Abba.
yes.
Because Olam Haba is connected to Ima.
Yes.
So
So
above
this is
Olam
above
Haba.
Olam Haba, this is Abba. Yeah, you're 100% right. That's exactly what this is. And I thought I would never taste it again. And we went into a restaurant last week, and they said they had this wine. And I said, you couldn't possibly have this wine. So they said they did. And the price was very expensive on a per glass basis. So I said, okay, you know what? I never thought I would taste this wine again. So I'll have it. I'll buy a glass. And they came out with a bottle. And they said, it's not per glass, it's for the bottle. And I said, done. Yes, this is the best thing I ever bought out of that restaurant. And they said they don't have any more. This is their last bottle. And I said, now it's my last bottle.
Wow.
So it's an interesting wine because normally when you leave wine out, it can oxidize and it becomes bad. This wine is totally oxidized.
No, I can't.
Here.
I can't.
Why?
Because it's not fair. This is your last drops.
No, it's okay. It's not my last drops. Come on.
Stop,
this
stop,
is the
stop,
whole
stop.
purpose of it. So it's totally oxidized. The only reason I don't like to leave the cork off of it is because it evaporates. I don't want it to evaporate.
For sure.
Yes.
Sure.
So isn't that amazing?
It is. So like he made this wine like from the grapes of Shemitah, like last Shemitah. Like this
2008, no.
Shemitah.
8.
Ah, wow.
Two Shemitahs ago.
2 Shemitah ago. Wow.
Wow. And he left it in the barrel for 8 years. He left it in barrels for 8 years. And
But you paid Heter Mechera prices, so it's...
he did. It was Heter Mechira.
Wow.
So
It's really special.
isn't it crazy? So TuB'Shevat Seder.
Baruch Hashem. TuB'Shevat Sameach, Bezrat Hashem,
Yeah.
for all of us and all of Am Yisrael,
Amen.
and the whole world. You know, it's spelled out in about Sukkot that Am Yisrael is doing like the 70 oxes sacrifices. That all of the 70 nations will be blessed. That everybody will have their sustenance. But it's also true about TuB'Shvat, that like all what we're doing in the Seder TuB'Shvat is to bless all the fruits of the trees of the whole world.
Right.
And
For the whole world.
For the whole world.
Yeah, it's not just a Jewish thing.
The world should just appreciate the efforts made on behalf of them from the Jewish people.
Exactly. That's what I want to say, that Chazal say that if the nations would have known what they are gaining from Beit HaMikdash, instead of destroying it, they would have put like soldiers to guard it.
Yeah.
Right? So like the same thing here, that like if everybody would have known how much they're gaining from all of this spiritual work of Am Yisrael, they would appreciate what we're doing instead of like criticizing us. And I think that's in a certain sense that's like one of the main points of the time of Mashiach, that this truth will be revealed.
Please God.
That everybody will be able to see that truth and appreciate it. B'ezrat Hashem soon.
Thank you for being on the Kosher Terroir.
Baruch Hashem, it's my pleasure.
And TuB'Shvat Sameach to everybody.
Amen.
Please God.
Amen. B'ezrat Hashem.
This is Simon Jacob again, your host of today's episode of the Kosher Terroir. I have a personal request. No matter where you are or where you live, please take a moment to pray for our soldiers' safety and the safe and rapid return of our hostages. And whenever possible, buy and share Israeli wine. I hope you have enjoyed this episode of the Kosher Terroir. It was exciting and informative for me as well. Please subscribe via your podcast provider to be informed of our new episodes as they are released. If you're new to the Kosher Terroir, please check out our many past episodes.